All right, YouTube. This Detroit's HPTV coming back at you with another video. And we got to talk about Karmelo Anthony. If you're not familiar, the team that stabbed another team down in Texas. And I've been telling you that the people who benefit from division and chaos were going to exploit it. They're exploiting the case to the point to where they have a problem with the fact that his family raised a GoFundMe. And, they had a GoFundMe for Kyle Rittenhouse, and they have had GoFundMes for Penny in New York that choked the man out. So a GoFundMe, that's par for the course at this point. That people are going to try to monetize and exploit any trauma, any pain, any situation that has notoriety for profit. But then those who make their money off of the chaos totally remove themselves from the actual consequences of the race baiting, the race hustling, and the division. See, I'm going to tell you this, and we're gonna have a deep conversation because they got a problem with Charleston White. Charleston White said some things that Black people don't really want to hear. How many of you out there familiar with Charleston White? When it comes to content creating and theatrics, Charleston White is a master. He's a master of chaos. He's found a way to bring his own order out of the chaos. And that's what we should do. We should stop being manipulated. And then this mass manipulation, the way your neighbors is manipulated, and your kids, your friends, your cousins, everybody is on the same frequency or wavelength, but it's all nefarious. It's diabolical. So we easily led astray, not on the right path. We don't know if we should be rooting for the Black team because he took out a white team. We done got to the point we forget that they're both teams. This is only an expression of what we allow to be the status quo. We allow racism, oppression, stereotypes. We allow that to shape our realities. And then when something comes along that disturbs your quote unquote comfort zone, which may be chaos, you may be addicted to drama, or you may be a true seeker of light, knowledge, and information. However, I got a guy already in the comments say, if you co-sign Charleston White, I have to question you, brother. Even a broken clock is right 2 times. First of all, I'm not co-signing anybody since you're in the chat. I don't know Charleston White. I'm from Detroit. He's from Texas. What I'm talking about is systemic. That crosses all borders in all our communities. I'm older than Charleston White. I don't judge Charleston White on what he's doing, and he in his 40s, and I'm almost 60. I don't even judge Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, because both of them lost their lives at 49. They didn't get to be 59. I got 20 years of living on this planet and observing my environment in the modern times. So I don't have to co-sign Charleston White. I don't have to co-sign anyone. I have my own opinion. Charleston White is a lot younger than me. I'm old enough to be Charleston White daddy. So don't ever get it twisted. I had a guy come in here and the other day was telling me I had white man talking points. If he had to walk in my shoes and live my life, he would off himself. I've seen racism. I've seen violence. I've seen children born, grandchildren born. I've seen the 60s come and go. I've seen the 70s come and go. I've seen the 90s come and go. And the 20s is a blur. So I don't have to co-sign Charleston White. I don't have to co-sign anyone. Do you see this sign right? Oh, it's over here. Detroit's HPTV. I'm from Highland Park. In Detroit. Oh, here go the guy Beezy. Beezy, I'm glad you back. You just had a little disagreement with me, bro. But don't never accuse me of having white man talking points. You don't know me. I'm in the trenches every day in the deep. And it ain't no joke. But I ain't gonna let my people and the people who listen to me think that everything is racism, because sometimes it's capitalism. It's about exploitation. You understand that? It's about manipulating. It's about divide and conquer, playing one against the other, and we can keep them both down. You got to read some books, bro, because they play out of the same books. That's been written a long time ago. Why do you think they close in Barnes and Nobles, and you very seldom seen books? You got to go to Wikipedia to get your information, because they don't want you to have the facts and the truth that's written in books. And if you read any books, you will see that racism and race baiting and race hustling is as old as time itself. You can break it down all the way to, if a ninja got $5 more than you, he think he better than you. All you got to do is look at how black people buy Louis Vuitton, Gucci, anything with a European name that uplifts their status, but then they racist and they don't like white people. You make this make sense to me. Your whole body is covered with European names, but your mindset is Pan-Africanism, which is a joke. I ain't gonna hold you up. If you still buying off of that, buying dashikis and stuff like that, talking about going back to Africa, you getting fleeced. They was doing that when I was a kid. Imagine, I'm 59 years old. I went through a period where everybody had Afro picks and dashikis, and they was going to revolt against the man. I remember being in the 6th grade when they came out with Roots, and they told all the black people, watch Roots and support Roots. You know what I got out of Roots? Me personally, my daddy used to whoop me the same way they was whooping Kunta. He get mad at his white boss, and he come home and beat me. So Roots hit different to me because I be looking like, you ninjas is worse than the oppressor you talk about. So how do we make sense of that? If you worse than the oppressor that you talk about, man, you can get on Twitter, you can get on Reddit or anything, and you can see how these young brothers stand over. They stand over the people they take out. People getting shot 20 and 30 times. How mad you got to be at a ninja to shoot him 30 times? Like, that's a lot of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We seeing young black people in our community shot 30 and 20 times by other young people daily. Oh, that's right, KD. Thumbs up. Y'all hit the like button because I'm definitely shadow banned. But it's good to be shadow banned. If you a person like me, like, I like they shadow banned. I like the fact they hate on me. Why wouldn't you? That means all the people that support me is real people. And you know what they used to say in Detroit, the old school players when I was growing up? They used to say, when a sucker get lucky, a player don't stand a chance. Man, I got some old ones from back in the day. They say when a sucker get lucky, a player don't stand a chance. Y'all do with that what you will. I learned that at like 14. So I look at these young men, they get in my comments. I mean, they get in my comments sometimes, and they'll even be talking about, you old. And I'll be looking at them like, you don't want to get old? Oh, somebody told you that you're supposed to not get old enough to be a pawpaw, to be a grandfather, to be effective in your community. You supposed to get up out of here while you're young, huh? Before you growed up, before you got some sense, before you figured out a purpose. That's what we're talking about. I digress. This is our morning show. Let's check out Charleston White, the man we love to hate.
Austin Metcalf, you see the boy in Frisco stabbed to death by Karmelo Anthony?
Yeah, my heart goes out.
If y'all can hear it, put the ones in the chat.
They trying to make this a race issue, and this is a right or wrong issue.
Okay. So real quick, I like where you're going on this because I'm not even trying to race bait or anything. People are making this about black and white. You see that they're trying to make this kind of like a Trayvon Martin kind of, they're talking about it, but
it is. Trayvon Martin was an angry black kid that had to be sent to his father because he lacked discipline, grew up in a home with his single mother. Any well-behaved kid with manners that had respect of adults, once George Zimmerman approached him, whether he's right or wrong, as a child, this is an adult. You get off the phone with that fat-ass girlfriend you trying to fuck, you call your dad and say, hey, Dad, it's an adult around here to just stop me. He says he's called the police. rather than doing that, he had an attitude because as young black males in this country, we have an authority problem because we walking around angry, displaced from our father's issues, but we resent our mothers. So we're a ticking time bomb.
Now I'm gonna tell you this, and this is real talk. This is real talk. If you meet a woman and she's raised young men on her own, if she's raised, I'm gonna say, if she's raised young men on her own, those young men she raised will not respect older men, period. They'll have a guy 75 out there fighting a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old. Because they're that emotional that they can't even differentiate that this is an authority figure and you should listen. Because they immediately get emotional because they was raised by their mamas. And I'm not putting that on women. I mean, men should raise their kids, of course. But when you see young men that don't respect older men, clear case, there was no men around, at least not for no long period of time. The men that have come through, they be with their mama for a minute, and then they gone. So everything is transitory. I look at things a lot different. You know, I had my father, I had my grandfather, I had my uncles. My grandfather was married to my grandma. My daddy was married to my mama. My uncles was married to their wives. My cousins was my cousins. My siblings didn't have different daddies. So I had a different sense of love and family than somebody with all the kids is got different daddies. Them all different people, all different bloodlines, all different everything. And that used to not be the norm. That used to be frowned upon, but it's become mainstream. And it's because somebody is working diligently to keep you at the bottom. No people can rise if they don't have families. Don't y'all understand that? If y'all ain't got families, you will never go nowhere. You need a daddy and a mama and uncles. You need everybody to be on point, doing good. Now let's listen to Charleston White.
And Trayvon Martin could fight. So that's why I say you be careful approaching some of these young kids. What a 13-year-old to kick a 40-year-old's ass. That's what happened in that situation. He underestimated this kid, and he was looking for trouble. But by law, you're right. And he was judged by his peers. So we can't say nothing once you're judged by your peers.
Well, what do you think's going to happen in this Austin?
Metcalf had to go fuck. No, that boy going to jail.
Karmelo Anthony's going to go to jail.
Karmelo going to jail. Because listen, you cannot bring a weapon to school.
Good morning. You right, KD.
You can't say I was.
What if he says?
You right, KD. Real fathers raise their sons to respect older men because it's not no bunch of youngsters like taking out old men. They know old men that got to be old by living through some things, and they don't want you to hurt the old man, and they don't want the old man to hurt you. You know what I mean? You get the right honorary old man, he ain't got no problem putting the business, giving you the business. Because guess what? I'm gonna drop a bomb on y'all. They treat old people better in prison than they do in society. Old man go to prison, they send him to the prison like Coldwater where they got ducks and young nurses and meds and the doctors, and you know, most old men, if they stay out here with their people, oh man, they got bed sores, peeing on themselves, getting cussed out, getting dogged for Ike Turner and any other nefarious brother. Come on now. They treat old men better in the Hooskow, in the Bean, in prison, than they do in the old folks' home. Y'all know I ain't lying. Let's see what Charleston White talking about.
Self-defense.
There's no self-defense, because if you are afraid the day before, or you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teacher. School teacher that's bringing these kids in here and resolve this issue. It's called conflict resolution. We was taught in homes that has morals and values, you tell the teacher. Somebody fucking with you, you tell the teacher. Let the teacher know, so when y'all have an altercation, you're cleared and you're covered. Documentation beats conversation. So words of documentation to say this is self-defense. It's a premeditated crime because you took a weapon in fear, anticipating to use it.
That was premeditated, though.
He can talk, and his words, with his antics, can resolve, but he ain't saying nothing. See, I learned from watching people who, when they communicate, most people, you talk to them, they only waiting for you to stop so they can say what they want to say. So they ain't really hearing you. And if they get so used to that and get good at that, then everything is dogmatic in their conversation. That's not my style. I have an opinion. My opinion is based on observation, experience. I've lived through it. You can't tell me nothing about what these young men is going through from O Block to Orange Mound. I know, I lived it. And I think about when I was young and my father used to get on my head. He used to always look at me and be like, I done been your age before. You ain't never been mine. I did everything you could think about. You know what I mean? I used to be looking at him like, oh, Ninja, you lying. You ain't been around like that. You ain't did nothing but what you doing. You go to work every day and you come back, you ain't did nothing. Because in my mind, I never seen him being my age. And I never seen myself being his. And that's the problem with these young people and these young men. Taking the daddy out the house was the worst thing you could have ever done. Ever done. I wouldn't care. Some daddies, they got to go to prison. You know what I mean? They doing the most. They need to be in prison. But a daddy that's there on debt should have never let them trick that out your life, because you need them to help with the kids. And now you seeing Anthony, Karmelo Anthony's daddy. His daddy is defending his son, but your son took out another teen. I mean, like, is this Sparta? Because if this Sparta, let's all start getting down on each other. You block my parking space, I'm taking you out. You cut me in line at the store, I'm taking you out. Is this kind of society you want? And you see these older people, they exploiting it to the max. But at the end of the day, these is teenagers, both of them, young and dumb. Let's listen to Charleston White some more.
Said a track meet. You getting ready to run track with other kids and you got a knife on you. No, man, you got to go to jail. You got to go. There's no so when is it our right to kill the bully? I don't give a fuck what the bully did. He don't have a right to die.
No.
Man, you weak man. That's why I say teach the kids how to deal with bullies and this won't happen. We're all not equal. Even in nature, you can be feeding a flock of birds. There's going to always be one bird to come in and take the food from the. This is nature.
I'm stopping this because, okay, Deborah Johnson, Karmelo defended himself against two twin brothers. All right, that's what you're saying. Now, as a man, right? Growing up, I done had to fight brothers, cousins, the other team, all that. As a kid, though. And I'm talking about, I'm from Detroit. And this, at a track meet or whatever, stop playing it like you don't understand this is a tragedy on both sides. It takes a lot of guts and animosity and hostility to actually stab somebody. It ain't like shooting. It's not like that. So you want to say, come on, defend yourself against twin brothers. Okay, that's your opinion. Whatever. I will hope my child and my sons and my grandsons that play football and play sports, if they go somewhere, they fight it out and they don't even have a knife. That's over your head, though. And my son has boxed and my grandson plays football, I wouldn't be ashamed that if they took a knife and was at a sporting event and it led to all of this. So I'm not judging nobody, Deborah. But you a person that sit on the sidelines. You ain't never did nothing to nobody. All you probably ever did is sit around and be mad. Pout. You ain't never actually in anger took something off of here. So it's a tragedy on both sides. And you want to say defending itself. Who bullying you? That you out here that you know what? I'm done. I'm done talking to you. Let's get back. Let's listen to what Charleston White talking about. You the problem.
Cannot get rid of bullies. Teach the kids how to deal with them. Bullies build character. You go to work, there's going to be a bully supervisor, a bully co-worker. You cannot get rid of the bully. Teach our children conflict resolution. Everything don't have to end in violence. But when you come from the black culture, everything is disputed in violence.
Yeah. That is the problem, though.
It's the culture.
That's the culture. That's how they solve. When you have a serious issue, they don't even contemplate trying to talk it out.
We teach a no snitching rule, right? So our kids are walking around with these mafia rules, codes, and ethics of the streets that's held over children about no snitching. So now I have to take a weapon because I don't want to be a snitch and kill another kid. Oh, it's a simple solution. Don't tell the teacher. Tell your parents. Yeah. It's a simple solution. I know, tell, motherfucker, tell.
Hey, listen. Charleston White be tripping. Charleston White be tripping, but he be speaking facts. And then somebody there, innocent until proven guilty. In fairness, Charleston White is whitewashed. Y'all proving my point. Look, Deborah Johnson in here, she said the white boys were known. She don't call, look at the racism. They're teens. They're somebody's children. What part of that you don't understand? 17? And you leading with the white boys. But the black boys is taking things down every day around here. Every day around here, the black boys in their skinny jeans and their hoodies is taking lives every day. So, based on your information and your mindset, Deborah, What should we do to these black boys that's taking down other black boys every day, all day? They got Hellcats and pistols. But you so mad, you want a race war and ain't gonna do nothing because I bet you work for a white man. I bet you go in there and clock out and clock in and say, yes, sir, no, sir, nickel bag, full, sir. Get out my live. Get out my live with that. Them was teenagers. That's what y'all forgetting. They was teenagers, 17. You know how much dumb crap I did at 17? Man, at 17, I was on the spectrum. How about that?
But what sounds crazy, I know it sounds so easy, but the thing is, even for the criminal, the guy that would commit an assault, if you stop him before he does the assault, then they don't have to go to jail as long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is not that kid's first time grabbing a weapon, because most kids who grab a weapon from the first time don't kill people.
Yeah, of course. You bring a gun a couple times before you shoot it.
And if I was being bullied and I'm in self-defense, even though he have an undeveloped brain and he's impulsive, why run?
I don't know.
Why get rid of the knife?
So you see where Charleston White is going. He got a perspective. And what I'm showing you is there's a lot of different perspectives. We're going to go to Melanie King. Let me see if I can find Melanie King. Y'all with me? Let's go to Melanie King.
Why would this guy get...
Shout out to Melanie King and Charleston White. Just using their audio.
You get your permanent teeth in 24 hours.
Carmelo Anthony has been released from jail. And let me say that again. Carmelo Anthony, the teenager who drove a knife into Austin Metcalf's chest, into his heart, is now walking free. Not because he was found innocent, not because new evidence cleared him. No, because a judge decided to slash his bond by 75%.
Oh, let me say this before we get off into this. And this is deep. And I'm just going to drop this in there. I seen the lady that had some bad kids, right? This lady was like Ma Barker. Y'all ever see the movie Ma Barker, where the mama is showing the kids how to rob banks? Check out that movie, Ma Barker. I've seen women, and they be Ma Barker with their kids. You know, they give them 50 Cent that made a whole genre out of that with the power episodes. But it's in real life. Mama raised her kids to be real ninjas in her mind, what a real ninja is, but they real ninjas with a female emotional makeup. And they unleash them on the streets. They get switches. Only person that they love is their mama, though. She raised them like that. Everybody else is an enemy but me. So anybody but their mama can get it. That's why when the first time they get some money, they say, I bought my mama a house. And they be unalived 100 people that could have bought their mama a house the right way. But I've seen women, and they raise these type of broods, and then when the streets eat them alive, and they come up missing, or they overplay their hand, or they slip up and they off here, their mama want them on a milk carton, and mama want justice. I want justice. Well, who took my child? It reminded me of the lady out of Chicago, Mama Duck. Is y'all familiar with Mama Duck? Mama Duck was the gang banging his mama in history. In history. 10 toes down, spinning the block, no cap. She's with all of that in Chicago until they took 2 of her sons off here. And then now she's screaming justice. So what I'm saying to you is, what does justice look like to the angry person? If you angry, your vision or version of justice may be wrong. You ever thought about that? That if you take your emotions out of a situation, you may be wrong. You may be able to see the bigger picture. You may be able to see that these was 2 teens, 2 dumb teens encountering each other in this hostile society that their parents made for them. And now y'all want to race war. Y'all say you want a revolution? All right, get to it.
From 1 million down to a measly 250,000. And just like that, he posts bond and strolls out on house arrest like this is some kind of misunderstanding over a part.
I'm just stopping this, and I'm just saying, look at the people in my comment, how they respond to me. He said 17-year-olds get sent to combat every day. What are you even talking about? I'm talking about that a 17-year-old don't get sent to no combat every day. You just talking. What 17-year-olds you know get sent to combat every day at 17? You sound like somebody that watched Paid in Full. A ninja dad every day, B. Yo, goofy, but you just saying something. 17-year-olds get sent to combat every day. Where? Most 17-year-olds you know is still in and out their mama refrigerator, leaving their dirty clothes on the floor, playing Fortnite, or doing something stupid in man back. Let's listen to this.
Ticket.
Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Now I'm gonna stop that where the lady is saying, why were you armed at school? First of all, he wasn't at school, so we gonna keep it a buck. He's at a track meet somewhere away from the school or whatever. But you ain't gonna say, you know, because they try to throw theirs on top of it and say and make it an enhanced case by being in the school zone. And what I'm telling you is that me personally, by 17, I had did so many dumb things and made so many mistakes. By 17, I had made so many stupid mistakes. I've been 17 in Detroit. And I'm not talking about like a Detroit civilian in these trenches. In these trenches. But at 17, I was a kid. I know I was a kid. I'm a great uncle. My brother's kids got kids, and I got grandkids. So, do you think I still think like I thought when I was 17? When I was 17, I'd be in the street with the rest of you idiots, flipping over cars, looting, and doing anything else. It's free, ain't it? That ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about a mindset. And most of y'all ain't
looking
even.
to start your
And
own
most.
business? Well, look no further than busy.com. Right now, we'll complete your
Let's
And 95% of y'all that call yourself in the black community, y'all ain't even from Africa. I just had to throw that in. I'm sorry. Because y'all be trying to put on whatever being put on. I'm looking at Melanie Keene. Melanie Keene is acting like she mad. Y'all tell me.
be clear here. A young man is dead. A family is shattered. And the person accused of this brutal act, he's not in jail. He's at home. And we're just supposed to act like this is part of the process. But it gets worse. We've now learned that video footage of the incident exists and is in the hands of law enforcement. Depending on what's on that tape, this case could flip. But let's be honest, the damage is already done. The message is loud and clear. Stab someone in the chest, and if the system likes you enough, you might just get a discount. This isn't justice. This is a joke. And the public knows it.
Okay, with the 75 people they say they interviewed, did they say anything about video was recording?
Yes, they have collected video.
So it is video of the incident?
Yes, they have collected video.
Okay.
There is video of the actual stabbing.
There's video, there are several different videos that they verified.
So let's talk facts. Karmelo Anthony's family, the same family of the teen accused of murder.
All right, Lawrence. You say I was in basic training and most of my platoon were between 17 and up. Hell, if you were 15, you do know that's not the norm, bro. That's exceptional. Let me ask you a question. How many of your homeboys did you leave behind? If you made it out of there into basic training, how many of your homeboys that you went to elementary school with, in junior high school with, in high school with, are still around? Answer that, Lawrence.
They've raised over $500,000, not for the victim's family, not for the community healing, but for the legal defense. Except that defense fund, it looks like it's a lifestyle upgrade. We're talking mansion, brand new Escalade, and fresh designer sneakers, all while Karmelo chills at home on house arrest.
And I'm gonna say this to you too, Lawrence. When I was young, I had homeboys that went off into the military. You hear me? I had homeboys that went to the military. They went to the Navy. They went to the Army. I done stood on bus stops watching them go away and leave us to the hood, because it was something different about them that made them able to do it. What we talking about is the masses. We're not talking about how many. Ask yourself, what percentage of the military is even black men? And ask yourself, what percentage of the prison system is black men? Is it more black men in prison than it is in college and the military put together? You know it is, so I rest my case.
Karmelo Anthony's family is buying a new house in full security with that $400,000 that they have raised off of dummy black people that have donated to them. I gotta ask you, black people, are you ever tired of being grifted and scammed and manipulated for your emotions? So this is a 17-year-old black kid who stabbed another kid in the chest, killing him. And so now all of a sudden, this is your hero. All of a sudden, this is who you are riding for and advocating for, a stone cold killer, all right? And so I see all the black men like,
I'm going to turn him off, because that little young brother ain't no stone cold unaliver. I'm just showing you how people race bait, manipulate, and try to cash in on trauma and monetizing pain while spreading ignorance, bro. they be talking about, oh, they gonna pass a segregation bill. Y'all don't like them folks anyway, so why y'all care? And you got to be the dumbest person in the world to go eat somewhere where they don't want to serve you so they can spit in your food. So that's goofy too. So I ain't gonna keep y'all on here this morning. The message gonna be, don't believe the hype, like Public Enemy and Spike Lee. Don't believe the hype, and power up. Things are being moved out of our way. And it seemed difficult, but power up. Keep getting stronger, keep getting more aggressive, keep it all going. Just take them blinders off your eyes and realize that it's treacherous out here. These are perilous times, like the Bible said. And I'm reading these comments, and it'd be good to kick with y'all in the morning. But I don't know. Did y'all hear any of my opinion? Because I know you got your own if you following what's going on in the media. And in all actuality, we had to keep on pushing. And you can't be in your feelings. You can't be angry. Everything is chess, not checkers. The kids and the young people is playing checkers. The adults is playing chess. So, let me see. I got another comment. Let me read it. HPTV, yes, sir. I'm back for another video. Keep on spitting that knowledge, sir. Thank you. I be looking at young people crazy when I tell them something and they don't listen. I be like, how you think I got to be this old? I ain't never see myself being 50, man. I never even considered it. I never even considered nobody calling me Papa. Me? I remember the look on my mama's face when she first heard a kid call me Papa or Granddaddy. She was looking like, what kind of granddaddy these babies got? You know, I don't know. But we keep living and we keep moving. And we just got to move in truth and be vigilant. Pay attention. Everything is a politic. When you see money and people rallying behind a particular thing. So I just showed you 2 clips and you know what they're saying, because clearly people are divided about the issue. You know, and you may ask me about the issue. I live in Detroit. Young people take each other's lives every day. I'm mad about that. I don't even need a racial component to be upset about young people taking each other's lives. Well, anyway, I see people is going out. This was a good morning chat. I'm gonna go back through y'all comments or whatever, but I think showing other people's opinions and voicing your opinion helps you come to a better reason. You can't live in an echo chamber. You got to be able to think outside the box. So this is Detroit's HPTV sounding to you out of Detroit. Y'all keep y'all head on the swivel. Stay safe. Stay wise. As always, salute to all patriots. Like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel.